Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day and that you've had / having a lovely weekend. I don't know when this is going up. I figured that I hadn't filmed a floor vlog with you guys for a long while now, and if you're unfamiliar about what a floor vlog is, it's basically what it says on the tin. I sit on the floor and I make a vlog. They usually consist of quite more serious topics, and I see them as like almost midlife crisis on the floor talking about deep issues kind of deal. Maybe even when you go to the level of a child and you start talking to them about really serious things. And I've also noticed that Trisha Paytas has stolen my idea and she's starting to do kitchen floor vlogs. Like, how no? Aside all of that though, today I wanted to talk about something which is fairly serious and I find it very difficult to talk about, and I will explain to you why. Connecting with you guys through social media is great, and sometimes you guys feel like you can reach out to me quite a bit and you guys ask me for help and advice and such, and one of the main things that comes up is to do with happiness and positivity, because I'm guessing that you feel those kind of vibes when you watch my videos. A lot of you ask like how I stay happy and how I'm positive and how things are always great and dandy in my world, which they aren't, but I choose to like live a certain way. And there may be people who know me personally who watch this and think she's not that happy and she's nothing different, she's just like everyone else, which is very true. I would like to think that I'm not actually too happy and annoying, because that, like I said, would be annoying. But in general, I like to look on the positive of things, and the positives of stuff is always the first to jump to mind, or it's always like the first thing I like to talk about if I'm going through something difficult or I'm talking to someone about something difficult. I'm always the first person to say, but this can also mean that, and then I would say something which won't necessarily improve the situation, but it will make you see things in a brighter light. I think it's just the way I've always been, but a lot of people say to me, how do you do it? And I do find it really difficult to talk about, and that may sound silly, because why is it difficult to talk about it if it's just your way of life? But in all honesty, I truly believe that I don't really have much in my life to be sad about and to be mad about or angry at. Like, I'm so privileged as a person, and I understand that, and I don't want people to watch this video thinking, how can she say to keep things all lovely and positive and bunnies and rainbows and sunshines when I'm not going through much anyway. So there may be some of you who are dealing with so many things, so many issues, so many problems, and I don't want to sit here and say, guys, just look on the bright side, because sometimes things are awful and sometimes things will make you sad, and it is okay to be sad. It's okay to recognize when you are sad and to dedicate some time to being sad and upset. But this video is just going to be certain things I believe, and it's my opinion, so please don't take it the wrong way. Being sad and sadness is very, very important, because if we didn't have that, then we wouldn't know if we were happy. Like, if you don't ever see dark times, ever see bad times, ever go through shite, then when you go through really happy times and like moments in your life where you're thinking, hold on, all of this stuff is going really great, you start, oh gosh, I'm so sorry about that. That is nail varnish, don't worry about that. You start thinking back to the bad stuff you just went through, and even though it was really terrible at the time, that stuff is making you realize how great this stuff is. But then again, too much of it isn't good for you, and it's really sad to know that so many people are going through really hard and difficult times, or they just feel really down all the time. But most of the people I've spoken to, and I'm not going to speak for everybody watching this video, but they may be going through some things, but they really do lose sight of the small things and just life in general and its beauty and everything that's involved with living. They just forget how privileged you actually are. There may be an aspect of your life that's going a little bit wrong, but are you looking at all the other things that you're experiencing and just life itself? You could wake up on a day you've been dreading for months, or you could wake up on a day which is the result of a terrible one the night before. But there are so many things going on in the background that you don't realise is amazing as well. The other week, there was a day coming up that I was really dreading, and the day before it, it was all I could think about, and it was just like really dampening my mood, because it was scaring me and it was worrying me, and I was thinking about it so much that it just clouded everything else going on in that day. So I just finally like snapped myself out of it and just said, whatever, I'm gonna go for a walk. And so I went for a walk, and I will admit I was using Pokemon Go as well to kind of like give me a bit more incentive to go out on a walk. By the way, I hope you're all on Team Instinct. And it was one of those walks where you don't really have anywhere planned and you're not with anyone, you're just walking and walking and walking and walking. I was taking in so much stuff during that walk that the thoughts about the next day was just going. I was realizing how insignificant this tiny little thing that I was worrying about was when I realized how beautiful the sunset looked. I was watching elderly couples walking along the beach holding hands. I was watching a little child run after some litter that was blowing away in the wind. I was watching a dog run away from a humongous seagull that was scaring the life out of him. I bumped into an old friend I hadn't seen for a while, and we had a chat about life and how things were and how things used to be and what we've got planned for the future. And then I realised how much I missed them. I walked past a group of guys playing football, and I was listening to some of the girls who were sat watching them, presuming they were their friends, having a conversation about who liked who and gossiping about stuff and chatting about things that I used to do when I was in that exact same age doing the exact same thing. These tiny things go on in the world and we don't notice them because we are so caught up in our own little problems and our own little issues. And I know they can be hard, I know they can be difficult, but you haven't really got another option. When most people say to me, why are you happy if you're going through something that's so awful? I think, so you'd rather me be sad? Like, I wouldn't rather me be sad. If I've got both the options there, I would much rather try to my best to get to the happy option than I am the sad one. Even if that means faking it till I make it, even if that means literally trying my best to search for something that will make me happy. I've always loved the term do more of what makes you happy, and that's because everybody has their own form of happiness. I think a lot of the reasons that people can't find a content, happy emotion is because they spend a lot of time not listening to what it is they want. Some people shy away from their interests because they're different. I say embrace them, do as much as you can that you know gives you positive vibes and happy feelings, even if to some people it's completely weird. Things like work and school, education, money can get in the way. Like, time is very valuable and it gets eaten up by a lot of the things which involve just surviving. And although obviously that's important, you need to do things, adulting, but don't forget to look after yourself as a person. A lot of the time, if I speak to friends about issues they might have or problems they might have and they just want my advice, sometimes I find it really difficult to give advice because it's hard to tell somebody that their problem isn't actually as big as they feel it is, because if they believe their problem is horrible and you're sat there saying it's not that bad, they're not going to listen to you because they're just in that frame of mind of a terrible situation. So all I usually say to them is to properly assess the situation they're in from an outsider's point of view. Is this really something that's going to affect them? When people say, will this matter to you in a year from today? And although that's a really horrible thing to think about because you don't really care, you're just worrying about what's going on right now at this point in time, a lot of the time your issues aren't as huge as they seem, and even if they are, there are things going on which you need to recognize and remember. Wake up in the morning and realize that you are in a bed. You have a cozy, warm bed that is securely placed in a bedroom that has a roof, that has warmth, heating. You are about to wake up and have a shower, which is warm water, which will fall on your body and wash your body, and you will have that privilege like you did the day before and the day before that. And then after that shower, you're about to eat food, which you can literally just walk into the kitchen, open the fridge and get with your own hand. You can make a coffee, you can turn on the tap and the water will come out, you can have some water. Juice, you've got options, you've got choices. You have a car outside your house which you have worked hard towards to get, but it is there for you to get in it and to drive to places, to go to work so you can earn some money, which enables you to do amazing things like support your family, or maybe just, if you're younger, go to the shops and watch a film at the cinema with friends, buy some things which you've wanted to save up for a while, and you can enjoy those things because they are yours and you bought them and you have a town that you're able to travel to buy them in. Throughout the day, you have the chance of going through amazing things which you don't know yet. You could make a new friend, you could cry yourself with laughter with an old friend. Notice your favourite coffee shop does half price coffee on Tuesday. You check your phone to find out what the date is, and then you suddenly have a flashback that your favourite TV series has started again. Your phone starts ringing and then you realise it's your nan and she says that she just called because she misses you. Your boss tells you that you've been working really hard recently and they really appreciate your effort. A customer that you always serve tells you that they're really thankful for the service that you always give them with a smile. A cute person smiles at you. You get their number. Embrace the situations and places and things you are doing with a freaking smile. Cheer up. You are living, you are breathing. You don't know what happens when you die. We don't. We don't know what else we could be doing right now. But we are doing this thing called life. It is difficult at times, but most of the time we are enjoying ourselves. I think you're more likely to open your eyes a bit more if you've ever experienced meeting or talking to somebody who is literally on death's door. I don't like talking about this, but it is the truth, it's reality, it's life. If you've ever had a conversation with someone who literally doesn't know how long they're going to be living for, then you will know and realise how lucky you are, why you have 1,000,001 reasons to be happy, why you should be choosing to smile when you feel like you can't. You will think again when you ask me why I have a positive mindset all the time, why I don't feel the need to walk around crying all the time, and why small things make me happy. Why can't they make me happy? Why can't bigger things make me happy for longer? Do not get caught up in the things that you do not need to be caught up with. And don't ask me why I'm happy all the time. Why would I not have a reason to be happy as long as I am here and I exist and I'm healthy, which I am. I'm surrounded by a healthy family. I have friends that pop by and ask how I am. I have achievements that I've made throughout my life. I've literally just finished university and I'm so proud of myself for going through it and achieving that. I'm not saying these things to brag or like to push it in your face, but I'm saying that you guys have things too. You have things that you guys can celebrate too, but you're not celebrating them. I watched this interview on TV once and it was about a little girl who had some disease that meant she had to have her leg and arm amputated, I believe. I can't really remember much detail on what it was she had, but she was asked during the interview how the experience was affecting her life and how it made her feel. I say little girl, she was only a couple years younger than me perhaps, but she was just this really innocent looking, smiley, happy, chirpy girl. And they had asked her, you're so happy, like what's the secret, like in general, not just because of her situation, but in general, what is the secret to happiness? How do you keep this positive aura around you all the time? She stared him in the face and said, this disease is happening to me and it's affecting my body and there is nothing I can do about it. I've got the option to be miserable and I've got the option to think about it all day long and just stare at a wall and wonder why it's happening to me. And then she said her other option was to realise that she has another arm and another leg on the other side of her body and that she can use those. She can repay her family for all the support they've given her by smiling and letting them realise that she is happy and grateful for them because they wouldn't want to see her upset. Choosing this positivity will remind and inspire people around the world a lot more than it would if she was sad. And in turn, she said that would encourage them to move their bodies more and appreciate their bodies more. How fantastic is that? For a lot of people, there are always going to be somebody who is much worse than yourself. Please remember that you are living, breathing, and doing the best you can. There is nothing to be sad about other than having a sad frame of mind. And I really hope this video didn't offend any of you in any way. I really do hope and pray and wish you guys the best and happiest life, and I really hope that you continue to strive on and look at the bright side of things, because life is really, really beautiful. I would love it if you guys could leave a comment in the comment section below telling me something that you're grateful for and appreciate, or maybe something that you just saw today and thought, that's why I'm smiling. This is what makes life a bit more beautiful. I would love to read them, and I'm pretty sure everyone else would too. Thank you for watching, guys. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and you can be notified every time I make a brand new video, or join me on my social media, all of which are down there somewhere. Bye.